Hey, good afternoon. This is Joe Sonona with Coffee Talk with the Listing Pros in Real Estate Sonona Speaks Seminars. And my guest speaker this week is Ross Keith from Keller Williams. Ross, how are you? Did I
I'm
say your
doing
last
great.
name right?
Keith, yeah, no
There
H.
you go.
So, hey, I'm used to it by now. Good afternoon, everybody. Joe, thank you for having me.
Welcome,
Appreciate it.
welcome.
How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's staying safe and healthy. Joe, hope you and your family and kids are keeping busy and staying safe and healthy as well.
Yes, absolutely. Let's get right into the questions. How are you? And tell us how long you've been in real estate.
Sure. Everybody on my end is healthy and safe. I've been licensed since 2005. So right now, October will be my my 15-year anniversary here in 2020.
Nice, very nice. And how old are you, if I may ask?
I'm 38. I will be 39 in June. So I hope to be able to get out of my house and celebrate my last year in my 30s before a big birthday next year.
You will, you will. um, Tell us, this is a program of listing pros, and we always ask that one question that everybody has been really nice and welcoming and voluntarily giving of this answer, and that is their secret sauce about listings. What makes you a listing pro, and what's your secret sauce?
So fortunate enough to have a great mentor in the business. My mother, I am a SOB, in this case, it's a son of a broker. My mother has been in the business for 41 years, so I've had a very good mentor and trainer to teach me, the ropes here in real estate. Secret sauce when it comes to listings, to 95% of our business is referral business. So it's always, that comes from always doing the right thing. So that's first and foremost. You want to be able to do the right thing so that referral business can become a very high percentage of your business. And then in terms of getting the listing, you always want to hear what the seller's motivation is. You want to be a very good listener, a very good note taker, and be able to provide them exceptional service. If you're able to do those things, you're going to have a very long, successful career in real estate. The sellers are our clients, and therefore we have to do exactly what they ask for. It's a very big process. At the end of the day, we are usually selling, or if we're representing a buyer, where they're purchasing their largest asset or selling their largest asset. And with that being said, we want to be their go-to for all their real estate transactions for the rest of their lives.
It's true, absolutely true. Tell me, you've been in the business 15 years, right? Almost 15 years. I've been in the business 30 years. What kind of advice would you give to somebody just starting out in the business?
You want to be able to educate. You want to become the economist of choice in your market. So what that entails is listening to what's going on, not only locally, nationally, and worldwide. We are in a worldwide economy. So you want to pay attention to the news. You want to read things like the Wall Street Journal, all the real estate resources that we have to understand mortgage rates and what the feds are doing and what companies are doing, understanding employment rates as well. So you also want to be able to have the correct mindset in this business. You want to be able to persevere, and you don't want to quit. You want to be able to drive through. This business has lots of ups and downs. Joe and I were high flying and involved with LIBOR and out and about before all this happened. And now we're all adapting to new changes, and that's a key word too, is adapt to the shifting markets that we'll constantly see throughout any point in your career.
I always tell my wife, who needs great adventure when we're on the greatest adventure of our lives, just up and down roller coasters here and there, blah, blah, blah.
And what they say, markets are usually 7 to 10 years where we usually experience a different, market. This is our first time experiencing this thing right now. So, hopefully we won't see it again, in the rest of our careers, but you never know.
Right. And if we do, we have a way of adapting to our culture, and we have a way of working around these things and and showing our proposition value. Do you hold any designations?
I'm sorry?
Do you have any special designations?
Yeah. So, me personally, let's see. As I mentioned to you before we started, I am in the process of getting my PSA as we speak. I just completed 6 modules over the past 2 days.
All right, so tell everybody what that means, because
Pricing strategy
PSA
advisor.
can mean something else for us men.
Pricing strategy advisor is a newer designation, I believe, something that came out more recent. It's a 6-hour CE credit. NAR is offering it for free right now as part of our pandemic, keeping busy activities. So I'm just in the process of that. So that's my newest one that I'm applying for. I am a GRI, graduate of the Real Estate Institute. I'm a CRS, a Certified Residential Specialist. I can go down the list. I do have quite a bit of designations. I was purposeful whenever having to go for my continuing education over my 15 years, that when I did have to go renew, that I went for a designation course.
Why did you go for designations? What led you? I have a story about me, and I kind of poo-pooed designations when I first heard about them, and then I kicked myself swiftly in the butt a few years ago, because I realized that having them was going to add value proposition to my business. But what led you to get them?
It was always, it was always being able to do something different. You want to be able to stand out from the crowd, and you always want to. I'm a student of the business. I'm a learner. I always want to be educated, and if you have to sit in these classes, a lot of the classes are 7.5 hours long. Why not get something in return that can help you then stand out from the rest of us on LIBOR, 28,000 of us and growing. But let me be a little bit different. Let me be able to have these designations that can stick with me, that can be a specialist in, I'm also a green designee from NAR,
Nice.
Energy efficient. So being able to do things, become that expert, that specialist in this big, wide range field that we're in real estate.
So let's take, for example, one of the designations you have. Pick a favorite of yours and tell the audience of realtors here how you use it. And you could also tell the audience of your clientele or anybody who's seeing this video or will see this video here on Facebook. What, actually, it's Facebook and YouTube now. So tell everybody what favorite designation you have and how you can utilize it to help the public.
It was interesting. So if you don't mind, I'll give two. One's quicker than the other one. We were referred a seller. I'm probably going back 7 or 8 years ago. Don't quote me, because realtors with every day blending into one another, it all
That's true.
The same and is the same to me at this point.
I say a few years ago, and my wife corrects me and says, "No, honey, that was 10 years ago. That was 20 years ago." You is only
I'm there with you, Joe. But he had a very energy efficient home, and he was actually looking for someone who had that green designation holder. So that came into really separated me from the crowd, because in my market, in Queens, I don't know any other realtor that has it at the moment. Another one that comes into handy more frequently is the SRES, the Seniors Real Estate Specialist. A lot of our work that we do with our sellers, they're usually downsizing, or at that point of retiring and looking to start that next lifestyle move or lifestyle plan. So they're usually going from that bigger house, to which they've owned for 30 plus years, to a very smaller, whether it's an assisted living, a co-op, a smaller house, whatever it may be. So it's a very big move for them, because most people, as you get older, they don't like change. And so it's more of a hand holding, and that designation helps us, understand the senior mentality a little bit further.
Yeah, I have that SRES as well, Senior Real Estate Specialist. And do you know NAR categorizes seniors as 50 plus?
Yeah, we
so I got 50 last year. Woohoo! It became
I still got a little bit to go, but not there yet. But
that's okay. When you get to become 50, they give you a free cup of coffee and a donut at Dunkin' Donuts.
I've heard that there are some perks. When
there are perks. There are perks, and then you get
AARP. AARP at that point.
Yes, that my wife gave me the letter from AARP. She goes, I want you to have this on your birthday, and I'm like, great, thank you. You're not too far off from getting one.
You know what happens in this world that we live in? Everything flies by so quickly. I'll be there before we know it.
I blinked and I turned 50, and I was your age.
I would never think with your energy, and attitude about things. I always think you're younger than me. You're like someone like my mother. I always say my mother and you are people that are like the movie Benjamin Button, where as you guys get older, you actually get younger with age.
It's true, and that's because we love what we do, like yourself, and we love to list our homes, and we love to be that person that the consumer picks, because we're going to show and demonstrate our value, and it's all in these designations, how you demonstrate your value. I'm not a salesman for NAR, National Association of Realtors, in the least bit, but I want to demonstrate my value, and I think demonstrating your value in becoming a listing pro is very, very effective.
These designations, when people are impressed, when you're going into list 500, 800 million, $2 million homes, they're experts in their field, whether they're doctors, they're attorneys. They have letters at the end of their name. We have letters at the end of our name as well. It allows you to step up your professionalism and your expertise.
Right. And I also impress upon people who are listing pros to get the SRES, the Seller's Representative Specialist.
I'm actually scheduled to take that. I don't know if NYSAR or NAR has canceled that yet, because I'm scheduled for June 9th and June 10th.
Online or in person? Oh, okay.
In East Elmhurst, Jackson.
Yeah.
Center. So I don't know if it's canceled yet because of where we are in today's world. But I'm actually scheduled for that class. My fiance is scheduled for that class, and my father's scheduled for that class.
So your fiance is also in real estate?
Yes, it's a completely family.
Wow.
Mom, dad, fiance, myself.
Mom, dad, fiance.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
So we were looking forward to taking a continuing education in person, all three of us. Mom is grandfathered in until what I'm hearing is
no more grandfather.
Next year, there won't be any more grandfathers.
That's all of us grandfathers and grandmothers. The party is over. We need continuing ed. Thank God.
Everybody should do it. And what a better time than now. And I think I actually just renewed yesterday. Monday was my renewal cycle for my next 2 years. So I'm really going to utilize this time to try and take as much as I can.
Well, this is a great time, and even after the pandemic is over, and at the time of this air date, hopefully it will be over. But
your mouth to God's word.
But if and when this does, it has really taken it has really shaken things up a little bit. It has taught us a new way of learning, and hopefully it will focus or change the way we do things in a technological world. What kind of technology do you use for listings?
We have our virtual tour that we use. We use a company called Tour Factory, which does create. You mentioned YouTube before, that this will be on YouTube as well.
Right.
YouTube is the second largest search engine outside of Google. So we use also a lot of social media. Our company is great, like a lot of companies, giving access to syndicate to multiple sites. But we find that your Facebook having a business page as well as a personal page, and using Instagram and IGTV as well, allows you to showcase what you do and your listings in front of a larger audience. It's all about being in front of enough eyeballs. So we always have to get creative
Right.
MLS is great, and now that we merged, with the Bronx, in one key MLS, we're in front of a larger agent audience, which is awesome. But we also want to be in front of a bigger buyer, segment as well, and understand where the buyers are looking. And I know right now with everybody home, everybody's on Facebook and Instagram constantly. So we need to be as realtors where the buyers are spending the majority of their time.
I think they are on Facebook and Instagram more often than we know, even pre-pandemic as well.
Right.
Yes, you're right. There is a greater opportunity, and there's a great opportunity for us to become more visible in front of the public. Do you use drone technology too?
We do aerial on properties, on certain properties. I think that's going to be a bigger piece of the puzzle moving forward. Here in Queens, we're very populated, but some of our waterfront properties here in Queens would benefit from drone photography. Some of our larger properties as well, as we do our work in Long Island. Especially in your neck of the woods in Long Beach, those drone photos come out wonderful and beautiful.
I have several drone pictures or drone aerials that have really captured the true essence of our beaches and our bayfront, and it really is a magnificent piece of technology that you'd be a fool not to use it in.
Yeah, and it really it's able to highlight exactly where the property is located. There's a lot of different pockets or different neighborhoods within a town, and drone photography is able to really focus so the buyer, when they are looking online, are able to get a better idea of where the property is located.
I love those photos that people use in their listings where they take a picture and there's this big grand tree or forest in front of their house, and you can't see the house in the pictures, but yet a drone can capture that and then, rise up and see the full front, the sides, the back, the yard. I mean, that's something that I think a lot of agents are kind of missing the boat on, and they continuously use what is that called in Google, the street maps view.
Oh yeah, Google Maps, and
I'm like, where's the house? The house, and I'm looking, and I'm trying to navigate. I'm going, where's this house?
we did this for a property not too long ago with the drones. The drones are able even to fly on the interior of the home, and take a whole interior aerial, that's, I'm 6'1", so it's even able and just fly through the house, which is pretty cool. So definitely every agent, whether new or experienced, should be, trying to embrace the technology, use this time to get up to date on, the changes in technology. And so when we are able to, be released from quarantine here, we will all be, better agents and better able to service our clientele.
Do you find that other agents in our real estate world are not that versed in technology and should be in order to become better listers, better listing agents?
Without a doubt. I think there are a lot of people that have been in this business for quite some time and didn't bother to catch on early when technology was making a push into the industry, and now they're having a hard time catching up. And a lot of people, the newer agents especially, since they don't have any, they don't come from an old way of doing things, they're able to
careful with that old.
And start implementing, tech into their business immediately, even if it's just CRMs and apps, and not necessarily marketing as get crazy in terms of drones and different sites and Instagram, TV and Facebook Lives and all that stuff, but just being able to I lost my train of thought. Sorry. Hopefully you edit this before it goes live. But
we had a little bit of an internet here, but see, that's the static. That's the electricity of two great listing agents come together to have a conversation.
Where all the thoughts and the momentum is going in my head, and then it just has to stop because it's on overload at the moment.
Quite all right. Oh, you froze. Oh no.
be able to use this.
Maybe move the laptop a little bit or the computer. There you go.
Okay, am I back? There we go. Sorry.
See, we're talking about technology, and look what's happening right now. So anything can happen in our world, right?
And with everybody on the internet and being home all at the same time, I don't think the internet itself is used to all this usage, in one neighborhood.
That's okay. We're having a great conversation today with Ross Keit from Keller Williams. I know that you work for a great company. You have the finest technology and the finest tools, and also the finest people as well. There are some great people in our industry. There's some older, more mature, more, I would say, experienced agents in our companies. So what would be the best advice? I guess that would be the best advice, is to stay current, right? For like me, 30 years in the business.
You have to stay up to date, not only on technology, but also on changes. We have a lot of changes coming through in with our merger into One Key MLS. Our clear cooperation policy kicks into effect in a week, I want to say roughly, May 1st. Yep. So with changes, it requires us to stay up to date. And if you don't, you're just going to be left by the wayside.
It's been quite a transitional period for our members, and it's been quite a transitional period for two associations to merge their MLS, and hopefully, as a result of this, we can kind of learn from each other's technology and learn from each other's how would you say, experience in the business, that maybe we can bring that together and really show the consumer that we are true professionals and that they need us. A lot of listing agents, when they go on listing presentations, they're always talking about their competitors and not colleagues in this in this business. And we don't do enough of supporting and praising. And that's probably the reason why I started this program, was to celebrate and the experience of a listing agent, and then not only just celebrate or give you, Ross, an accolade of being a good lister and a listing pro, but also to teach new agents how to become listing pros.
And without a doubt, you hit it on the head. You need the cooperation of your fellow realtors, in order to survive in this business, in order to have longevity in this business. Correct me if I'm wrong. We're going to have over 40,000 members now that we're combined with we're able to do the volume and the number of transactions that we have done over, our career here so far, as the key team at Keller Williams Realty, by, doing the right thing, being able to co-broke with, people like yourself, Joe, and EXP and every other broker out there known to man. Is you want to be able to cooperate. Those agents out there, you never know where the best buyer is going to come from. You have your fiduciary duties especially when you represent the seller.
You hit something that I want to talk about: fiduciary duties. So the fiduciary duties is the foundation of our business, and I always ask this question: if you had to pick one of those fiduciary duties, whether it's obedience, loyalty, disclosure, confidentiality, accountability, reasonable care. Now, I know all of them are important.
Yes.
But if you had a favorite and you would say, which one would I pick? Which one would that be for Ross?
It's that, because they're all important.
So which one is your favorite? Which one is your most favorite?
Confidentiality. I'm a big believer in that. Me personally, I'm a handshake type of guy. I trust is big with me. And with trust is that confidentiality, because that seller, in this case, as we're talking about listing pros here, they're trusting you, in the sense to market their property. And sometimes you're going to come across a scenario where, maybe it's a divorce, maybe it's a death, something that's messy or a little sad at the same time. So they're trusting you not to, hurt their position, and what they're going through. And so for me, it'd be definitely confidentiality.
That's pretty good, and you bring that out because there's a lot of, and there will be a lot of people, that through this whole pandemic
Absolutely.
will be suffering financially, and there's that piece that piece that they're going to share with their listing agents that's so important, and it's not
100%.
that we don't want their business to come out of there, but it's what people do with their business and how they use that information to hurt them even more. They're already down, and
And
now
it's
we're going to find,
unfortunate.
oh, I have to sell this house because I'm going through a financial hardship, and now you're coming at me with a lower offer than what I'm supposed to have. So yeah, you're right. Confidentiality is a good one.
And unfortunately, there are some agents in our business that forget, your fiduciary duties and think dollar signs. And I think that people out there, sellers, are smart enough where they can see the dollar signs in your eyes. So I definitely urge everybody to don't forget your fiduciary duties when going into an appointment and securing that listing and
And,
marketing.
and I'm glad you mentioned it because that is the foundation of our business. And it's, like a good doctor and like a good lawyer who takes an oath to their clients. This is our oath. And a
Mhm.
lot of realtors forget that. And I'm glad that you bring that to the forefront of your conversation with this, because it's not just listing a property, it's having that duty to our clients.
And you hit it on the head. When the dust settles here, there's going to be a lot of delicate situations, that could be coming our
They're
way.
going on right now.
And those
They
delicate
really are.
situations, that's when those fiduciary duties, even though they never go away, will appear more because those people are trusting us, with
Right.
very delicate information.
Well, any last minute advice? Any last minute thoughts
I,
that
I,
you want to
feel like
convey?
everybody should just, I think mindset. I think as we get busy or even in slow times, we forget about our mindset in all this. We have to think positive, and the key word for me is always persevere. Don't quit. Things are never going to be easy in life. We just have to persevere and navigate our way through, and we'll all come out better on the other side.
Good, good. Well, I want to thank you, Ross, for being on this program today. And hopefully, we will do more business in the future together. And I want to remind everybody that Coffee Talk is on Fridays at 11 o'clock. We broadcast it not live, but pre recorded. And we don't edit this. So this is completely unedited. And we like to have fun with our guests, and we like to have real meaningful conversation that about our business, about our industry, about the people that we serve, about this cooperative collaboration with our colleagues in the business, and of course sharing the knowledge of listings and making changing people's lives for the better, and giving them that sense that they should be a little bit more professional in their duties, and especially the fiduciary duties, right, Ross, to the consumer. This is Joe Sonona, and this is Sonona Speaks Seminars, Coffee Talk. Thank you so much, Ross. I really look forward to breaking bread with you again in the future.
Absolutely, Joe. Thank you for having me, and everybody stay healthy and stay safe.
Have a good day, everyone.
You too.
Take care.